Last year, there were 7,686 weapons that were recovered in the state of New York. Of those, from Rochester proper was about 435 weapons.
Stemming the flow of illegal guns. That's the reason the Rochester mayor's putting on the pressure to beef up the Violent Crimes Task Force, a multi-agency effort to crack down on crime.
So yeah, we've had 3 armed robberies of commercial establishments over the past 48 hours.
Right.
And
members of the U.S. Border Patrol, Customs, Immigration, Parole, and the Rochester Police Department have moved in and suited up as ATF over the past year. And there were 4 brand new ATF agents hired in the last couple of weeks.
We're very small, but per capita, we do a lot of work.
The push for stiffer gun trafficking penalties is years in the making, and in October, U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand reintroduced her bid for new federal gun laws.
Our bill would finally make gun trafficking a federal crime. It would give law enforcement the tools they need to get illegal guns. We are not talking about legal guns. We're talking about illegal guns off the streets and prosecute those who make money dealing in trafficked weapons.
A similar bill in 2013 had bipartisan support and nearly passed.
There's a lot of money to be made in selling weapons. You can get some weapons that are $39, $49 retail in a southern state, and then come up into an area like this in New York and sell that same weapon for $300 or $400.
At the ATF office, Mulham has a table prepared to show me the firearms agents retrieved in the chain gang Wolfpack case, which closed back in 2011. A total of 30 gang members were notorious for terrorizing the Beechwood neighborhood in Rochester. They traded crack cocaine to get illegal guns and shot and killed a 15-year-old girl.
Right now, to date, 27 of those 30 defendants have been convicted and are serving time. 3 went to trial and lost, and I believe are still in the appeal process. So this is again a display of some of the weapons that were taken from this group during the life of this case. Here's a Remington 870 shotgun.
Each gun has a unique fingerprint that includes the make, model, serial number, country of origin, and the caliber.
In 2010, when this weapon was recovered, it was then test fired, and a comparison was made between the casings from the actual homicide and the casing now from the test that was conducted on it.
And we're here with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and we're here to do a compliance inspection on your business.
okay.
Every gun has a story to tell, and it's only through tracing it that investigators can discover its origin and how the weapon got to the scene where it was ultimately recovered. Take a Smith & Wesson revolver, for example. Let's assume that gun was found at a crime scene.
The trace goes down to our tracing center in Martinsburg, West Virginia, and now teams of people begin to make phone calls. The first call will be to Smith & Wesson itself, and they, as the manufacturer, would now look through their books to see, okay, that weapon we produced, and then we sold it to wholesaler X on such and such date. That person then from the tracing center hangs up with Smith & Wesson, calls the wholesaler.
The wholesaler confirms that deal and discloses which retailer it sold the weapon to. And when the tracing center operator receives that information, they contact the retailer, which reveals who purchased the gun and when.
There it is, right here. Okay.
At the time of sale, the purchaser would have filled out ATF Form 4473, answering a variety of legal questions.
All right.
More ATF agents in New York means more investigators focusing on tracing illegal guns. The logic here is this should lead to more convictions and ultimately less gun trafficking.
We want to put an end to that and as quickly as possible. And we want to do it in a way that none of us get hurt, and we want to do it in a way that we can do it quickly to get that area back to normal.
I'm Sasha Ann Simons for the Innovation Trail.